My friends, in a world where everything is instant, instant coffee, instant noodles, instant delivery, we've also started expecting instant success. But growth, my dear friends, doesn't happen overnight. A seed never becomes a tree in a day. You can water it, nourish it, love it, but it still needs time. And so do you. When you start your journey, you may feel like nothing is happening. You work hard, you stay consistent, and yet results seem invisible. But that's exactly how nature works. Before a bamboo shoots up to 90 feet, it spends years growing its roots underground. You don't see anything, but something powerful is happening beneath the surface. Your life is the same. The roots of your growth are being prepared even when no one notices. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Everyone's timeline is different. Some bloom early, some bloom late, but what matters is you bloom. The real tragedy is not in slow progress, but in giving up before the fruit appears. Patience is not waiting passively, it's trusting actively that your effort has meaning, even when results are unseen. Remember, when a caterpillar enters its cocoon, it must endure darkness before becoming a butterfly. If it breaks free too soon, it will never fly. The same applies to us. Our struggles are not punishments, they are preparations. Every delay, every disappointment, every detour is shaping you for something greater. So, when life seems slow, don't lose heart. Keep moving, keep learning, keep growing. Because the best things in life don't happen fast, they happen right on time. Trust the process, because growth may be invisible now, but one day, the world will see what patience has built within you. Growth is a gradual process. It cannot be rushed or forced. Everything valuable in life takes time to mature, to form, and to gain strength. We live in a culture that celebrates speed, quick results, instant fame, overnight success stories. But what we don't often see is the years of effort that lie behind those moments. The truth is, genuine growth never happens suddenly. It's a slow, steady, and often silent journey. When we plant a seed, no matter how many times we look at it, shout at it, or water it, it will still take its own time to grow. You cannot pull the seedling out of the soil to make it grow faster. Doing so will only kill it. Similarly, in our own lives, when we try to rush the process, we end up damaging the very foundation of our growth. Think about the way nature works. The seasons don't arrive overnight. Spring follows winter, summer follows spring, and autumn completes the cycle. Each has its purpose, and skipping one would disturb the balance of life. In the same way, your personal growth moves through seasons. There are times of planting, times of waiting, times of nurturing, and times of harvesting. But we often get frustrated in the waiting season, feeling as if nothing is happening. Yet, under the surface, roots are growing stronger, unseen, and unappreciated. This unseen growth is what gives you stability later when the storms of life come. Every great structure, every strong tree, every successful person has gone through that invisible stage of development. You cannot build a tall building on weak foundations. The deeper the foundation, the higher the structure can rise. When life seems slow or when results seem invisible, it's not because you're failing. It's because your foundation is still being built. The process of growth often feels like stillness, but that stillness is preparation. Patience in those moments is what transforms potential into power. We often look at people who have achieved great things and wonder how they did it. But we only see the visible success, not the countless invisible hours of work, struggle, and discipline. The tree that bears fruit today once stood as a fragile sapling that survived harsh winds, scorching heat, and heavy rain. Growth demands endurance, and endurance demands time. If you try to skip the struggle, you also skip the strength that comes from it. The beauty of slow growth is that it teaches humility. When things come too easily, we tend to take them for granted. But when we work hard, when we persevere, when we wait, we learn to value what we gain. Every small step, every minor improvement, every quiet victory counts. Progress may not always be visible, but it's happening within your thoughts, your habits, your mindset, and your heart. So when you feel impatient or disheartened, remind yourself that growth is not about speed, it's about depth and direction. You are not behind, you are becoming. The seed inside you is alive, but it needs time to bloom. Trust that every day you water it with effort, kindness, and faith. It is growing slowly, quietly, beautifully, and one day you'll look back and realize that what felt like waiting was actually the most important part of becoming who you were meant to be. Just like a seed takes time to sprout, human potential unfolds in its own season. When we plant a seed, we don't dig it up the next day to see if it's growing. We trust that nature is working in silence. The same principle applies to our lives. Each of us has been planted with unique gifts, talents, and dreams, but they need nurturing care, and most importantly, time to blossom. The world often pressures us to produce results quickly, to achieve success by a certain age, to reach milestones faster than others, to constantly prove our worth. But true growth doesn't obey deadlines. It unfolds naturally when the environment, effort, and timing align perfectly. Think of how long it takes for a tree to grow from a seedling into something strong enough to give shade and bear fruit. It must endure storms, scorching heat, and heavy rain before it matures. If the tree tried to rush the process, it would never develop the strength to stand tall. In the same way, our potential must go through its own seasons of preparation. Sometimes you're in a season of planting, sometimes watering, and sometimes waiting. Each season is necessary. Skipping one means the fruit will never fully ripen. The time you spend growing unseen is not wasted. It's the foundation that allows you to handle success with grace later. When we look at others who seem to have made it, we often forget their journey began in silence. The author who writes a bestseller spent years facing rejection and self-doubt. The musician who inspires millions once practiced in an empty room, unknown to anyone. Just because your growth isn't visible doesn't mean it's not happening. Beneath the surface, your experiences, struggles, and lessons are shaping your roots. And those roots are what will sustain you when you rise. The mistake many people make is to compare their timeline to someone else's. But the truth is, every seed blooms in its own time. A sunflower and an oak tree can never follow the same rhythm, yet both have beauty and purpose. Some people achieve early recognition, while others take years before their light shines. But delayed success doesn't mean denied success. It simply means your story is being written carefully, not quickly. Sometimes life will test your patience. You'll question why your efforts aren't paying off, why your dreams seem slow to manifest. But even when you see no progress, something is happening within you. Every challenge you face is strengthening your character, refining your values, and deepening your wisdom. The season of growth is not always glamorous. It's often filled with waiting, learning, and trusting. But when the time is right, everything will align, not too soon, not too late, but exactly when you're ready to handle it. So, embrace your pace. You are not late, you are being prepared. Your potential is not lost, it's maturing quietly. Every struggle is part of the soil nourishing your growth. Keep nurturing your dreams. Stay faithful to your process and believe that your time will come. When it does, you'll realize that the waiting was never in vain. It was the essential part of becoming who you were always meant to be. True progress often happens invisibly, deep within, not always visible to others. In our lives, the most meaningful transformations are often the ones no one can see. They happen quietly, in the depths of our thoughts, our hearts, and our habits. The world celebrates visible success, trophies, titles, applause, recognition, but rarely acknowledges the unseen battles, the silent perseverance, and the quiet discipline that makes such success possible. Growth that lasts begins on the inside long before it becomes visible on the outside. When you plant a seed for weeks or even months, nothing appears above the surface. You might even think nothing is happening. But underground, the seed is bursting open, roots are forming, and life is preparing to emerge. The invisible work is the most important part of growth because it builds strength, stability, and purpose. In the same way, when you are building your dreams, much of the progress will happen where no one can see. You'll be developing patience, building discipline, and strengthening your faith. Just because others don't recognize your progress doesn't mean you're not evolving. We often become discouraged because we mistake visibility for value. If no one sees our effort, we assume it doesn't matter. But think of the foundation of a skyscraper. No one ever admires it, yet it holds everything together. The unseen work supports the visible results. The same principle applies to your life. Every small decision you make, every moment of self-control, every act of kindness, every failure you learn from, they all contribute to your unseen progress. Growth is not always about doing something big. Sometimes it's about staying steady, doing what's right, even when no one claps for you. It's easy to get impatient when you don't see results right away. You study, work hard, pray, stay disciplined, and yet it seems like nothing is changing. But that's because real transformation takes time. A tree doesn't grow by showing off its roots every day. It simply continues to draw strength from them. Likewise, your unseen growth is what prepares you for your visible success. When the right moment comes, everything you've been developing quietly will burst into bloom. There will be times when people misunderstand you or fail to notice your progress. They may even doubt your potential because they can't see what's happening beneath the surface. But don't let that shake your confidence. The caterpillar inside its cocoon looks still, almost lifeless, but inside, an incredible transformation is taking place. Similarly, your silent seasons are sacred. That's when you're being shaped into something greater. What matters is not who sees your progress, but who you're becoming in the process. So, honor your invisible work. Keep doing your best even when it feels unnoticed. Keep nurturing your inner world, your values, your mindset, your heart. Because one day, everything that's been growing in silence will speak loudly through your actions, your achievements, and your peace. True progress doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't rush, it matures. It doesn't seek validation, it builds foundation. And when it finally appears, everyone will see the beauty that patience and faith have been creating all along. Comparison kills patience. Everyone's timeline and path are unique. One of the biggest reasons people lose peace and confidence in their journey is because they keep looking at someone else's path and thinking, why not me? We live in a world that constantly displays other people's highlights, their achievements, their celebrations, their victories, while hiding their struggles, failures, and sacrifices. The danger is that when we compare our behind the scenes to someone else's finished chapter, we create frustration, jealousy, and self-doubt within ourselves. Growth, however, is not a race. It is a personal journey that unfolds at its own pace. Every person is walking on a road that has been designed specifically for them. Some paths are smooth, some are rocky, some have turns that seem endless. But each one leads to a unique destination. When you compare your timeline to others, you forget that your journey carries its own lessons and timing. A flower does not compete with the one next to it. It simply blooms when it's ready. The sun doesn't rise at the same time in every corner of the world, yet it never fails to rise. In the same way, your success, your growth, and your season of breakthrough will come at the right time. Not when others expect it, but when life knows you're ready for it. When we compare, we often forget that what looks like someone's success may have come after years of unseen struggle. You might see the glow, but not the grind. You might see the smile, but not the sleepless nights. Every person's story has invisible chapters that others never get to read. So instead of comparing, be inspired. If someone is doing well, celebrate them, but don't let their journey make you question your worth. Their success doesn't mean your turn is denied. It simply means that the universe is showing you what's possible. Comparison also takes away joy. When you constantly measure your progress against someone else's, you stop appreciating your own growth. Maybe you haven't reached your goal yet, but you've come a long way from where you started. That's something to be proud of. Small progress is still progress. The tree that grows slowly often grows stronger because its roots have time to deepen. In the same way, your slow growth might be preparing you for a strength that quick success can never offer. It's important to understand that life is not about who gets there first. It's about who grows with grace. When you focus on your own journey, you move with peace. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You just need to become the best version of yourself. Everyone's timing is different. Some find their purpose early, others later. But each one blooms when it's meant to. Comparing timelines is like comparing the sunrise in different countries. No two happen at the same moment. Yet all are beautiful. So stop measuring your life with someone else's ruler. The only competition worth having is with the person you were yesterday. Keep walking your path. Keep growing at your pace. And trust that your season will arrive. Because when it does, it will not just be your turn. It will be your time. And no comparison will ever steal the joy of that moment. Consistency is more important than speed. Slow progress is still progress. In the pursuit of our goals, we often get caught up in the illusion that faster means better. We want instant results, immediate recognition, and quick rewards. But true growth doesn't happen in leaps, it happens in steady steps. Consistency is what transforms small actions into great achievements. It's the quiet discipline of showing up every single day, even when no one is watching, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Progress that lasts is built not on bursts of effort, but on the steady rhythm of persistence. Think about how nature works. The river doesn't carve through rock because of its power. It does so because of its persistence. Every drop of water, falling again and again, shapes the stone over time. Likewise, every small effort you make adds up, even if you can't see the result right away. When you commit to something, whether it's improving a skill, building a habit, or pursuing a dream, it's not about how fast you do it. It's about how long you're willing to keep going. Many people start strong, but give up when the excitement fades. Those who keep going, even when motivation is low, are the ones who truly grow. Speed can be deceiving. It can make us feel like we're getting somewhere when we're actually burning out. Consistency, on the other hand, might feel slow, but it builds momentum that lasts. The most successful people aren't those who rush to the finish line, They're the ones who endure, adapt, and continue walking one step at a time. Every day you stay committed to your path. Even in small ways, you're moving forward. It may not be visible immediately, but one day, when you look back, you'll realize how far you've come simply because you didn't stop. In life, we often compare our progress to others who seem to be moving faster. But remember, a race is not always won by the swiftest, but by the one who doesn't quit. A bamboo plant, for example, spends years growing its roots underground before shooting up in height. During those years, it appears as if nothing is happening, but the roots are spreading deep and wide. Once it's ready, it grows several feet in just weeks. That's what consistency does. It builds invisible strength that prepares you for visible success. Consistency also teaches patience, discipline, and resilience. It requires faith that your effort matters, even when the results aren't immediate. There will be days when you feel stuck, unmotivated, or tempted to quit. But those are the very days that test your commitment. If you can keep showing up during the hard days, you're already ahead. Because growth isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. You don't need to take giant leaps every day. Just take small steps, the kind you can sustain, and let them compound over time. Every great achievement in history was built on consistency. Artists who painted masterpieces did it one stroke at a time. Writers who moved hearts wrote one page after another. Entrepreneurs who built empires started with one simple idea and nurtured it daily. So, if your progress feels slow, don't be discouraged. Remember, slow progress is still progress. What matters most is not how fast you go, but that you keep going. Over time, those small, steady steps will carry you farther than you ever imagined, because consistency, not speed, is the true key to growth. Patience means trusting the process, not sitting idle or giving up. Many people misunderstand patience as doing nothing or simply waiting for things to happen. But true patience is active. It's the quiet strength to keep believing, keep working, and keep moving forward even when results seem distant. It's about holding faith in the unseen, knowing that every effort, every step, and every moment of endurance is building something meaningful behind the curtain of time. Patience is not laziness, it's confidence that your hard work will bear fruit in the right season. When we plant a seed, we don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. We trust the soil, the sunlight, and the water to do their part. We continue watering, even when nothing seems to happen above the surface. That's what trusting the process looks like. Life works the same way. Your dreams, goals, and prayers are like seeds. You may not see instant results, but that doesn't mean growth isn't happening. The roots are developing beneath the surface, quietly preparing for a visible breakthrough. When you trust the process, you choose to stay faithful through the unseen seasons, knowing that what's meant for you is on its way. There will be times when you'll be tempted to give up. The road may feel long, The progress may feel slow, and the silence may feel discouraging. But every great story has a waiting chapter. The waiting isn't wasted time. It's preparation time. The world often teaches us to rush, to chase, to demand outcomes immediately. But life's most beautiful rewards are earned by those who have the patience to let things unfold naturally. A diamond doesn't form in an instant, it's created under pressure over years. Similarly, your growth, your strength, your wisdom, they all develop under the weight of time and perseverance. Trusting the process also means accepting that setbacks are not signs of failure. Sometimes, things don't go according to your plan because life has a better plan for you. A door closing today might be protecting you from something that isn't meant for your journey. Patience gives you the clarity to understand that delays aren't denials. They are pauses that prepare you for something greater. When you stop resisting and start trusting, you begin to see that every challenge has a purpose, every delay has a lesson, and every hardship has hidden wisdom. Patience also refines character. It teaches humility, gratitude, and resilience. When you rush, you may get the results you want, but you miss the lessons that make you strong enough to sustain them. Patience ensures that when the right opportunity comes, you are ready to receive it. It transforms frustration into faith and turns waiting into growth. The process may not always be easy, but it's shaping you into the person capable of handling the blessings that are coming your way. So keep doing your best, even when results aren't visible. Keep working with integrity. Even when no one is watching, keep believing, even when the path looks uncertain. Trust that everything you're going through is part of a divine design, leading you exactly where you're meant to be. The process may test you, but it will also transform you. And one day, you'll look back and realize that every moment of patience was worth it. Struggles and delays are not obstacles, but essential parts of preparation. Often, when life seems to hold us back, or when challenges block our path, we assume something has gone wrong. We think we are being punished, forgotten, or left behind. But in truth, struggles are not there to stop us. They are there to shape us. Every difficulty you face, every disappointment you endure, and every delay you experience is part of the preparation for the life you're meant to live. Growth cannot happen without resistance. Just as a muscle must be stretched and strained to become stronger, your character must be tested and refined through challenges. When we go through tough times, it's easy to question why things aren't working out as planned. But what we don't realize is that these very moments are laying the groundwork for our strength and wisdom. Think of an athlete. Before they compete, they train hard, often failing, sweating, and pushing their limits. The training isn't punishment, it's preparation. Similarly, your struggles are preparing you for the next stage of your journey. They're equipping you with resilience, patience, and faith, qualities that success alone could never teach. Delays to serve a purpose. Sometimes we are not denied what we want. We're simply being delayed until we are ready to handle it. Imagine giving a child the responsibility of driving a car. The car itself isn't bad, but the child isn't mature enough yet. In the same way, life withholds certain blessings, not because you don't deserve them, but because you're still being shaped into the person who can sustain them. The delay is your training ground. It's where you learn how to stay grounded, grateful, and disciplined even when nothing seems to be happening. Every struggle teaches you something valuable. Failure teaches humility. Rejection teaches redirection. Loss teaches appreciation. Pain teaches compassion. None of these lessons come through comfort. The very things we wish to avoid are often the ones that help us grow the most. When you face difficulty, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What is this teaching me?" That simple shift turns pain into purpose and struggle into strength. There's also beauty in the waiting, the quiet space where growth happens unseen. During delays, you may not feel progress, but your roots are growing deeper. You're learning how to trust yourself, how to adapt, and how to keep moving forward even in uncertainty. When the time comes, you'll realize that those seasons of struggle were not wasted. They were necessary. They taught you endurance and built the character you'll need when your breakthrough arrives. The truth is, you can't skip the preparation stage and expect lasting success. If you receive everything you want too soon, you won't have the foundation to hold it. The struggle strengthens that foundation. Every challenge you overcome adds a layer of depth to your story. Every delay refines your patience and prepares your heart for gratitude. The greatest victories are born out of the toughest battles, because it's in those moments that we truly discover who we are. So, the next time you face struggle or delay, remember, it's not a sign of failure. It's a sign of formation. Life isn't holding you back. It's building you up. The pressure you feel today is shaping you for the strength you'll need tomorrow. What looks like an obstacle now is actually the doorway to your preparation, leading you closer to your purpose with every step. Every great transformation begins with a period of waiting and darkness. Just as a seed must be buried beneath the soil before it can rise toward the light, every person must go through seasons of silence, stillness, and uncertainty before growth becomes visible. We often resist these dark seasons because they feel uncomfortable and lonely. Yet, they are the most sacred times of our journey, the moments when we are being shaped, strengthened, and refined in ways we may not immediately understand. The darkness is not a punishment. It is preparation. It is where life's deepest growth takes root. When a caterpillar enters its cocoon, it doesn't fight the darkness, it surrenders to it. Inside that confined space, it completely transforms, not partially, not superficially, but entirely. The creature that went in is not the same one that comes out. The process is quiet and hidden from the world, but it is necessary for flight. The same happens in our lives. When we face waiting seasons, when everything feels uncertain, or when progress seems invisible, that is our cocoon. It's not the end, it's the in-between, the sacred process that prepares us for what's next. Without it, we would never become who we are meant to be. But waiting is not easy. It tests patience, faith, and resilience. We live in a time where everything moves fast: information, communication, success stories. And so, when life slows us down, we panic. We think we're being left behind. Yet, the most beautiful transformations cannot be rushed. The flower that blooms too early may wither quickly, but the one that waits for its right season blossoms fully. In the same way, your time in the dark is building the strength and clarity you'll need when it's finally your moment to shine. The stillness is not empty, it's full of unseen growth. Dark seasons also have a purpose beyond preparation. They deepen our relationship with ourselves. When everything is stripped away, noise, recognition, distractions, we are left face to face with who we really are. That's when real self-awareness begins. In waiting, we learn humility. In silence, we discover wisdom. In darkness, we find light within. It is through these moments that we develop the strength of spirit that no success can teach. Because when the light returns, and it always does, you'll carry a new sense of peace and maturity that only comes from walking through the shadows. Think of the night sky. Without darkness, the stars would never be seen. The same is true for your life. Your light shines brightest after you've walked through darkness. Every challenge, every period of waiting, every unseen struggle is crafting your strength. You may not realize it now, but one day, when you look back, you'll see how the dark moments taught you endurance, patience, and faith. Transformation takes time because it involves becoming someone new, not just doing something new. The darkness breaks what no longer serves you and builds what will carry you forward. You may feel hidden right now, but you are not forgotten. You are being refined. The waiting season is sacred. It's where roots deepen, wings form, and hearts learn to trust. So don't fear the darkness. Embrace it as a sign that something within you is growing, preparing to rise stronger, wiser, and brighter than ever before.